perfect. Yeah, you walk that walk, watch the miles go by. You're so picture perfect.
Welcome back, everybody. And on this special episode of Bravo Tea with a Stay-at-Home Mom, I am joined for a little happy hour with my girl, Briana.
Hey, happy to be back.
Hi. Cheers.
Cheers. So happy it's Friday.
So happy.
Oh my God. In all my meetings today, I was like, can this day be over? Can
And
I
then
have my happy hour drink yet?
Yeah, I was going to say, you were like, I have other work to do later. It's talking about Bravo.
The real work.
Yeah, the real work. These people keep us on our toes, I will say.
They keep us busy.
I know. You know, the one thing I do need to start watching is I haven't watched Traitors.
Erica, it's so good. And it has all the
I know.
housewives. It has people from every show. And then you get to learn more people. Like, I've learned to love like some of the housewives that like I don't watch their show, but since I see them on Traitors, now I'm like obsessed.
So you're watching it now? Like, you would love Dolores. I've always told you you would like Jersey.
Yes. Yeah, I love her.
She's the best. And isn't she like just stunning?
Oh, she's gorgeous. She was just on Watch What Happens Live recently.
Yeah, with Carl.
Too. Oh my God, she looked phenomenal.
I know.
Like, she doesn't even look old enough to have kids that are like what, having or getting married, right?
Yeah, Frankie Jr. is getting engaged, but then I'm like, so you don't watch it. So her ex-husband Frank is on the show also, and they didn't have like a good split. Like, he cheated on her when she was pregnant.
What?
And she dragged the girl out by her hair because she worked for him.
Oh my God, was it on film?
No, so this is like way back in the day.
Oh, right.
Like before they were on TV.
Right.
But now, fast forward, they're both on the show together, and like you wouldn't even know they had a breakup like that because she's so nice to him. They still do stuff as like a family, but he's engaged to someone much younger, like our age. And then now Frankie Jr.'s engaged, and I'm like, what about Dolo?
Aww.
She's been with this guy for a long time, and I do like him. So he just finalized his divorce because it took so long.
Okay.
Is that
the guy that they like turned the camera to, and he was, and she was like, yeah, he gets nudes in his DMs or something.
Yeah,
Paulie. To him, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, he's like straight off the boat, Irish. Like
he's an Irish. He's an Irish man.
Yeah, and he has like a lot of money, and his house is very like man-esque. But she lives in his house now. But
good for her.
I feel like they'll stay together, but I hope they get engaged. Just because now, when your kid is getting married and your ex-husband,
right? You're like, oh, I gotta get a ring on it. Yeah, she's stunning. I love her. I loved her in The Traitors. You definitely have to watch.
I know. I want to watch just because Sandoval, I've seen all the clips where he had to run to the phone and he's like singing.
Erica, he is as much crap. Can I say the S word?
Yeah.
Shit he has done in the past and like how shitty of a guy he was. Like, I'm sorry. He is phenomenal TV. I absolutely love seeing him on my screen.
He is. And usually like the villain-esque type people are the good TV. You know, like we always need one in every show, or we need one person that like they're maybe not even necessarily mean, but we all don't like them.
Yeah.
We need them there.
Absolutely.
Sometimes for people to pick on them.
Well, and I forget who was saying it on one of the podcasts I was listening to. They say like everybody gets like a score, right? Like a ranking of liking in the Bravo universe. And it's like some people have low scores, and like that doesn't mean that they like get fired or they should get fired, or, you know, that it's not good for the show. It just means like that there's a variety. There's fan favorites, there's like villains, there's, you know, a mix. It's not just like everybody has a high score and everybody loves everybody. Like that would be boring.
It's true. It's like for Jersey, it's so like either Team Teresa or Team Melissa.
I've heard.
And it's very fascinating. And it's kind of like that on like Housewives too. You don't watch any of the Housewives. See, I got to get you into Housewives next.
I watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Oh yeah, that's right. You would like Beverly Hills.
Well, here's my thing. My whole thing with the Salt Lake City was I was like, okay, I can get into it because there was only 4 seasons to watch, right? Whereas like these other ones have been on for ages.
That's true.
And I don't get the history unless I go back, and I just, kids, it's hard. but
It's true.
but yeah, so I know
Some
for the ones
people,
that have
some
more.
people, or some of the shows, some of them are so new, or not new, there's so new people that there's like maybe like one OG, so you're like, I could catch up.
Yeah, I would have to just know what season to start with.
I'll catch you up.
Okay. Yeah.
On the off time.
I saw on one of the like streaming services like Hulu or one of the Peacock maybe,
Oh, Peacock.
that when you go to like the show you want to watch, say it's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, it says like watch for like binging. It says watch these episodes from this season, and like that's your like condensed binging thing. But
I love that.
yeah, I was like, maybe I could do that. I'd have to look. I think I saw it on when I was looking at Modern Family. Like the one night I pulled up Modern Family and it says like, here's your binge schedule. And it was like random episodes throughout the many seasons.
So my 2 suggestions for you would be Beverly Hills, because Lisa Vanderpump. Why are balloons on my face right now? Like, what's happening?
I don't know.
For those of you who are watching, I hope you like all the party balloons that just went by my face. You would like Beverly Hills because Lisa Vanderpump is on the old ones.
Oh, heck yeah.
And then Jersey, I just feel like you would love the old ones. Even if you didn't even watch the new ones, the old ones are so good. Because it's like those old school, like Italian family dynamic. Like, I love that. I always every year watch the old ones. Like I watch season like 3 and 4 because it's all the Christmas ones. So they do like the Christmas Eve. That's when Teresa's like, Christmas Eve is my holiday. We make all the 7 fishes.
All the 7 fishes.
And the sprinkle cookies fiasco that's like that.
Oh yes, the famous line. Yeah.
Yeah. So I always have to watch that at like Christmas every year.
Oh my God. Maybe I will. I gotta get into it. I love the Salt Lake City. So I think I'd love Housewives like anywhere, but especially Jersey.
Yeah, definitely. But let's switch gears from Housewives. Let's get into Summerhouse. How are you liking this season thus far?
I'm loving it. I think it's absolutely crazy that we have Lindsay and Carl both in the house. I think it's absolutely crazy that we have Sierra and Wes like just chumming along in the house when like that was a pretty shitty breakup. I mean, that was not, mutual by any means. It seems like
I know.
It seems like Sierra's still hurt.
Do you feel like it's weirder for the 2 of them to cohabitate than like Lindsay and Carl? Isn't that kind of wild?
Yeah, because like Lindsay and Carl have such a history and like engagement, and like it was such a big deal. And I feel like they're easy. Like there's
less tension.
Them. Yeah, there's less tension for them versus Wes and Sierra. But I think Wes is making it worse.
I liked him so much.
I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, and now I don't like him at all.
Yeah, I was actually talking to my friend on the phone like right before we jumped on, and we were both saying like Wes we kind of switched our idea of Wes a little bit. I used to love him, and now I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, and how do you feel about Jesse Solomon and Lexi?
I don't know yet.
like they're like gonna be married like by the end of the season. I feel like it's too much. And does she not look like damn Lala Kent?
Oh my God, she looks like Lala Kent circa 20
when she first came on.
Yeah. Oh my God, she looks so much like her, and like just like there's some sweetness about her, but like she also has some spice. Like I feel like that was like little Lala.
She looks like Lala, but like no personality of Lala because she's way nicer than Lala.
Oh no. She's definitely way nicer than little Lala, but like Lala has a really sweet side too, though. And
yeah, she likes you.
Lexi's like embodied Lala's like sweet innocent side that we don't always get to see.
Yeah.
But they look alike so much.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think? Like, do you ship it or no?
I think it's like extreme how close they're being. And like I kind of thought Jesse was being the stage 5 clinger, but then it's like on this episode we see she like is like, oh, my parents are gonna be here. Do you want to meet them? It's like, I just met you like last week. So I'm curious because in the preview they really made it look like, so they went on that date, which that place was so cute, by the way.
It was.
It was like all those games. And I feel like if we lived in New York and we were single, I would want to meet someone there for like a first date, because it's like you're not just sitting there staring at each other, like you're doing something.
Exactly. Yeah, especially for New York. Like there's not like a place where you can like go out and just like into a backyard and like throw cornhole around and it be casual and easy, like beer garden type. And I feel like that was definitely a casual, easy spot. I like it.
That was cute. In the preview, they made it look like he was like almost asking like, well, I want to be like exclusive. And she was like, I just need to know that we're only getting to know each other. The way they made it look is like she wants to play the field and she didn't want to commit. And that's not at all. She said she's either black or white. There's no gray area. It's like either you want to be with me or you don't. So I need to know that before I get hurt. So she's on the same page as him. So I guess that's not as like creepy-ish. Like last week, was that wild when she was like, as soon as you get home, give me a big koala bear hug, and they're all like laughing in the car.
Yeah, like it's been like an hour.
Yeah, like you just got here yesterday.
But to be fair, like he's off telling the boys like, I'm gonna marry her, I love her, blah blah blah. Like he's like all giving it to her. So she's like reciprocating it. And to be honest, they're probably like joking. Like a lot of the time it's probably like all like funny, but like at the end of the day, it's like, oh wait, we do really like each other.
I just feel like when you're both acting like that, there's no chase. And usually guys like a chase. So I'm like, okay, are you guys just like full blown boyfriend and girlfriend already?
Yeah, like are we dating already?
Like they did sleep in the same room on this episode. So we're maybe assuming they had sex.
Well, and I heard them mention it was like the third night or something, right? Didn't he say like, or she said like, we slept together in bed like the third night of meeting each other or something. But in my head, I was thinking if that's the case, like it would have been still the first weekend.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
And the first weekend was long because it was 4th of July.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember what day 4th of July was on this year. I think it was in the middle of the week. So that means they were there for like a decent amount of time.
Yeah. Well, I always wondered that. Like, I feel like the season for Summerhouse always kicks off with, or like right around the 4th of July. So I wonder, like, when are they getting this house? Do they just get it for July and August, or do they get it June, July, and August?
I think they just get it July and August. And the wildest part, if we all think about it, they're not there all week, but nobody else can rent that house. So that is just their house for the summer, but they're only there on the weekend because it's also like a stipulation in their contracts. They can't go there. Like, let's say Kyle's like, oh, I feel like going here for during the week to like have fun. You're not allowed, because Kristen Cavallari said back in the day when she was on The Hills, the MTV rented her this Malibu house. Like she was supposed to say, I'm renting a Malibu house for the summer. They rented it, paid for it, which is like literally so expensive. Yeah. She was only allowed there when they were filming. So she's like, I only slept there like twice. Is that a sin to waste that house?
That is. I'd be like, all right, let's film more then.
I'd be like, I'll like give you money for me to stay here like a week. I mean, just to let it sit there.
Or
but
just
she wasn't allowed to
with her and film more.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, I'll do something so we can film, please.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's such a waste.
Because the only time they were in the Summerhouse like so much was during COVID. So those rerun episodes were on during the week. And I turn it on and I'm like, remember when they couldn't leave the whole summer and they were all trapped and they were all like, I would like kill all those people.
Oh my God, I don't know how they did it.
Because they couldn't go anywhere. And that was when Luke and Hannah were still there.
I would love to go back to those episodes. Like, I can't even remember, but
a lot of Luke and Hannah drama. Because like I feel like he was doing a lot of what West almost did to Sierra. Like, I think behind closed doors, these men are saying nice things, and then when they're on camera, they're like, oh, I'm not gonna say anything.
Well, I think that's part of the reason Sierra is like, it seems like in these episodes that she, or I should say the first episode, really, she was a little bitter still. Like she was making comments and like
Hmm.
she was angry. She like hated Wes.
She's like, your hair's ugly.
Yeah. But like she's still so hurt by him. Cause I think what you're
Hmm.
saying, like behind closed doors, like he was giving her that like validation she needed. She's not a dumb girl. She's
Hmm.
smart, beautiful, so successful. Like she's
I
not
know.
an idiot.
And she's cool. She's not.
She's
See, like to
awesome.
me, like Lexi is like a little annoying. I mean, Jesse is being just as needy, but like she's like, come back and like give me a hug.
I
Like
think it's the age
Sierra doesn't
too.
act
She's
like that.
young. She's
I
young.
know. I mean, I feel old watching them. Wait, I love that Paige and Amanda are standing at the party and she's like, these girls are so young. Like, I have acid reflux. They don't even know what that is.
They don't even know what it is yet.
I know. How about this Bailey girl, though? Like, she's like there, but
But not.
she's not like a cast member because she's not in any of the promo pictures. And then she wasn't at the premiere party. So then I was like, who is she? Like, why would you bring a friend of, like, Lexi's new and you're gonna have the friend of? Like, that's kind of weird. So I heard that she was supposed to be on the show, but
Mhm.
then what she would do is after the weekend when they would film, she'd go back to the city and like talk shit on all of them.
Yes, I heard the same thing. And they were like, oh, you can't do
Yeah.
that.
Or she would like talk about what was happening, which you can't do that.
Don't you sign NDAs like when you
Yeah,
like
I
be
mean,
on the show? Like you can't like spill like when people go on
yes.
podcasts, like Carl, he's like, well, I can't say too much.
Yeah,
Like
which
I
is getting
feel like
harder.
yeah, because they're doing their social media, TikToks,
Hmm.
podcasts are popping off. Like
Or
and
like
it's
I
a
feel
whole
like
year until it airs, so it's a long time to keep it in.
if Jesse and Lexi, like for all we know, they could be boyfriend and girlfriend like right now, but we like almost can't know that until this show is over. And that's why these people, their relationships don't work because it's like, well, how am I supposed to hide you for a year?
Yeah, it doesn't make any I don't think they're together. Like I feel like there would have been some Easter eggs. There would have been some like pictures of them. There's no way you
I
can
know.
hide your
I'm
relationship.
so curious. Do you see like her mom and like sister? So I looked them up. They have like a podcast and I'm like, what's happening?
Wait, the three of them or just the mom and sister?
The three of them. And then she used to date, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, but they said, I'm pretty sure it's Posh Spice and David Beckham's son.
Lexi did?
Yes. I forget his name, but they
Whoa.
said Beckham was the last name. So I'm like, he's either a cousin, a nephew of something, but in the realm of David Beckham.
Well,
But I think it's
I did
Posh
hear
and
that
David Beckham's son.
that's wild if that's the case. But like where do they live? I thought they lived in like England or something.
I don't know, but like this bitch is like too famous to be like a newbie stranger on Summerhouse, I feel like. I don't
Yeah,
know, it's
well, I did
weird.
hear that she dates like older rich guys
I
because
see that
Jesse
vibe.
said something like that.
So
Like that's
Lala.
yeah, oh my God,
She's
so
just
loud.
Lala. Like
She
I can't
is.
believe there hasn't been like a meme. So like she looks like Lala, and I pointed out first episode the Bailey girl looks like that actress that's from Delaware.
Ooh.
Aubrey something. God, I
Oh,
forget
whose
her name
husband
already.
just passed.
You know who I'm talking about with the black hair? And she's like very
Yeah.
sarcastic.
She's in White Lotus, like the season 2 of White Lotus, and she her husband just passed away. The girl you're talking about,
Oh,
Aubrey or
really?
Audrey.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's from Delaware,
Oh, I didn't know she was from Delaware.
which is like so weird.
Yeah, she does kind of look like her.
Right? So I'm
Like
like,
a
we got
younger
Lala
version.
Kent, and then we got the actress over here, and it's just
Yeah,
weird.
it is.
And then the fact that they're trying to say like they're friends with Amanda, it's like, no, they're not. Amanda doesn't have friends.
Yeah, so what is your take on Amanda and Kyle situation?
I mean, I don't know how they're not divorced. Like, okay, so we spoiler alert, all know that Paige and Craig are gonna break up, but they're together right now on the show. But it's like, okay, they break up, but Kyle and Amanda are still married. I don't understand. I think it's just at this point in her life, she's like, I don't want to start over, but I think deep down inside, she's miserable. I think he's like a narcissist. Like, we're now seeing him do all this DJ crap. He's the one that had like a meltdown last summer, like, you can't do anything besides lover boy. I have no time to do anything. And now we see him, as Paige says, pretending to be Diplo. You have time to do that, but she can't do something that's actually going to make
Right.
money. Like, he's spending money. He bought all that equipment.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking DJ lessons, which is I'm sorry, the most embarrassing thing I've ever heard.
Wait, how do you know about that? Did he say that on the
He like
episode?
said it almost like he's like, I'm taking lessons and like I've been practicing. And I'm like, what? So that costs
Oh
money, and
God.
it's money and time. And it's just like, he's very narcissistic. I know I feel like we throw that word around all the time on Bravo, but a lot of these men are.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree because of the shit he was saying last season to Amanda. Like, well, but I will say she did launch her swimsuit company.
I know. Cheers to Amanda. I'm
Cheers
totally
to
going to get
Amanda,
a
like, good for
bathing
her.
suit. Like, good for you, girl.
So I feel like she's getting herself out there and she's like doing what she wants to do. So like maybe he's kind of like dialed it back with like saying that kind of shit to her, and especially probably all the backlash and feedback he got from the fans. Like, what are you doing? Like, but to your point, I still think he's a narcissistic asshole. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a sin because she's like growing and evolving into like her own, and like as you get older, you stop drinking till 4 a.m. You stop like partying all the time. Like he's kind of going in the other direction. Like he's going to be out more because he's DJing. He's going to be at more parties, at more social events versus Amanda, who's like, I want to have a family. I want to settle down. I want to get out in New York. Like,
yeah, she wants that damn backyard in New Jersey.
Right. And they're just on total opposite paths. It's a sin. And she's just supporting of him. And it's just sad. I feel bad for her.
Like, the one thing I understand is like, they are there on the weekend. I would probably party too. Like, because it's like, I'm getting paid, which is, it's always just so sickening to me to think about. They're being paid to stay there. I don't know why there's a thumb up floating. Like,
when you put your thumb up, the thumb.
Maybe.
The thumb
what did I do for the balloons though? Did I go like this? I feel like I would, be like, oh my God, like, Mike, we're like here to have fun. We're getting paid to have fun, which is wild.
Yeah.
And they don't have kids yet. So it's like, definitely like, do you. But it's like, it is like every weekend. You're the last to come home. You're the most drunk every weekend. Like, it's like wild. But I do think, I bet like during the week, he doesn't drink at all. And they don't do stuff like that.
But I don't know. Look at him. He's DJing. He could be DJing on Wednesdays and Thursday nights, like in the city, and then doing this on the weekends. And then it's just like 5 out of the 7 nights is like him at a bar, him at a club. Plus he has an alcohol line. It's like he's in this environment, and it's just not aligning probably with like how she thought things were going to be. I also heard on a podcast, somebody asked her, like, how do you feel about the DJing career? And she's like, I hate it.
Yeah.
He's already out until, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Like, I want to be in bed.
And like, I remember a long time ago, like when he started doing the DJing thing, there was like pictures that surfaced, and he was like talking to like a girl and like was like being all like chummy and stuff. So it's like, we all have to remember he like publicly cheated on Amanda on TV. So it's like, maybe when he gets drunk, he'll be like a Schwartz, and like, I don't know. I wouldn't like that.
Well, I think that's why I feel for Amanda the most, is because I know that, I think it was last season, we saw her like panicking, like in the bathroom, calling, and like pacing back and forth in her bedroom. Like, why isn't he answering his phone? And she like took his toiletry bag and like slammed it down. It's like, she has got to be spiraling because like it's happened before. He's constantly always out. Alcohol never helps. Like, it just sucks, I think.
And it's like sad because it's not like she's mad that he's out. I feel like it's like you said, I think she's like panicked that he's like cheating.
Probably.
And that's like never going to go away.
Right.
That feeling.
Yeah.
I also feel like, how do you feel about the girls like never going out?
I think it's not going to last for good TV.
Right? Like, it's like,
Because
I
they're
do
getting
love
older.
them.
I
know.
love them too, and I want to see them on my screens, but like at the end of the day, it's like Summerhouse
Like,
is
get out of bed.
right,
Like,
right. We have to like see some sort of like drama and interaction and drunken nights and parties, and like that's the fun of it, right?
yeah.
So I think that's why they're bringing in the people like Lexi's and the Wests and the
Yeah.
Jesse Solomons and the Bailey, you
I need
know.
to see them like out more too. Like, it's like we know they go out, but they don't always film. But my thought is, I think it's because not everywhere allows filming,
Mhm.
and the Hamptons is very strict. Like when the Kardashians did their Hamptons store there, it was like a shit show.
Yeah.
It's very strict because there's a lot of affluent people out there that don't want to be filmed or
Absolutely.
caught on camera. So I feel like it's like that's why we don't see them go out a lot.
Yeah,
But we know they are going out. But sometimes I get sick of seeing the house. I'm like, I want you to leave.
I know. I
I
know.
want to leave with you. That's why I do like when we see them in the city.
Oh, I love that they flash to the city.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I
Because
think
they
like
used to
the show
not
would
do
be
that.
yeah, the show would be a dud if they didn't. They have to continue to do that.
Yeah. So, the boys lost the party contest and they all had to get into the dunk tank with like the nasty hot dog juice and hot dogs floating around. And everyone just ran up and slammed the thing. And I'm like, let's just dunk West like 5 times in a row on that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Mike was like, why aren't they throwing the ball at it? And I'm like, because all of them just deserve to like drown in this hot dog water. We
Right.
don't need to
Like that's
waste
the
time
end
throwing the
goal here.
ball.
Yeah. Like let's not
Yeah,
waste our time. Let's get these men like where they deserve to
like
be.
drowning.
Yeah.
But then Paige and Lindsay go maternity shopping.
Oh, I thought
And
that was cute.
how cute was that store? Like, I felt like I
Oh,
didn't want to spend money on maternity clothes.
oh my gosh. I didn't actually. I took a lot of your hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
And I really didn't spend a lot on maternity, but to be honest, Lindsay is killing it with a
I
bump. Like
know.
she looks phenomenal. I love like that little top she had that like showed her belly.
The
It was-
crochet one, that was cute.
yes, I
Yeah.
loved that. So she definitely has bump in style.
I
I'm
know. I was
enjoying
like, and that was cute. She brought Paige, and I
it.
like
Yeah,
seeing them get closer. Like, Paige was like, I immediately got close to Lindsay when she said, like, I'm pregnant. Because she's like, we need to protect her. We need to make sure she has water at all times.
yes. I thought it was
That
cute.
was cute.
I do. I I thought it was interesting that production did it
Hmm.
because Paige is one to say like, "I don't want kids, I'm not ready." I was happy that like I wasn't pregnant when she announced, like
Hmm.
he has been telling Craig on Southern Charm, like, "I'm not ready for kids. If that's what you
Hmm.
want, you have to leave." So I thought it was
You have to
interesting that
leave.
yeah, like that she didn't that they didn't pair her with like, I don't know, like Amanda or
Yeah.
another girl on the show. Like they chose Paige. I think that was strategic.
I think it was strategic so that they could talk about Paige and Craig's journey. I agree with
Mhm.
you because we saw Craig froze his sperm,
Yes.
and then Paige was like, I'm thinking about freezing my eggs. So fast forward to today, current day, she is freezing her eggs right now. She's in that whole process.
Mhm.
And Lindsay was like, why did he feel he needs to freeze his sperm? Is there something wrong with his sperm? Because as we know, men can have children longer.
Yeah. Like their biological clock ain't ticking like ours.
Yeah, like a 70-year-old man could still have a baby.
Right.
Robert De Niro, how freaking old is he? He just had a
Oh my
baby like last
god.
year. There's something wrong with that. That's not
Yeah,
right.
that's why.
But but obviously, Craig, if he's popping out babies, you don't need to freeze your sperm, and it costs money, and storing it costs money. So I don't know. Craig is just like a Hallmark movie, but Paige is like, yeah, his sperm count and everything was actually like above average. So I don't know why he did all
You know
that.
what? I'll tell you why he did it. Because that's something in his control. Whereas like the relationship with Paige, he wanted so badly to like have a family and get the show on the road, right?
Yeah,
She was not getting the show on the road, right? As we saw.
yeah,
But at this point, like if he froze his sperm, he's like, all right, well, we're headed in that direction. Like
I
it was
guess.
something for him to like, I guess, check off. I don't
Yeah,
know. He wants that family so bad. It's a sin.
I know. And it's like, for me, it's like she probably can't stop what she's doing. She's on fire right now.
Oh, she's killing it. She
And
really
I'm
is
not
killing
I'm
it.
not saying she couldn't be pregnant and still do it. Look at Lindsay. They're literally like shopping. Lindsay popped the baby out and was doing a full-blown ad for Jersey Mike's in the hospital. I mean,
Wild.
like wild, and I love it. And think about all the ads that she's going to do for children's stuff.
Oh
So
my God.
Paige
It's
could do
gonna,
that,
yeah.
and I could see Paige doing all the fashions for the like kid. I think it's just like the giggly squad stuff. Like she can't be pregnant and like doing that. But
They
I
did a
feel
city tour.
bad
I mean,
that,
it's
yeah.
insane.
I don't really think it was like, oh, I'm not ready to have like a baby. I don't think she really wanted to have a baby with Craig and like settle down because of where they live. But that's why I'm surprised they even ever started dating. She needs someone that's in New York.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think a lot of people say like she strung him along like the 3 years, but and she kind of like alluded to this in like her podcast when she announced their breakup. Like when you get into a relationship, you're not thinking like, yes, I want to have babies with them or no, I
Mhm.
don't. Like you're just going along for the ride to see, right? That's the
Yeah.
whole point in dating somebody.
Yeah.
Like like follow through with, you know, the life cycle of your relationship, right? To
Hmm.
see if this is what you want. And she came to the conclusion that it's not. So like I feel like it's fine, but you know,
Yeah.
it's fine. Like she's allowed to break up with somebody. She's allowed to like go for what she wants and maybe have kids with somebody else. But two things can be true at once. I can still feel bad for Craig, you know,
Yeah.
like I still feel for the guy because he was like really sticking through it and really like was like, no, it's Paige. Like me and Paige are endgame.
Hmm.
So you know, I feel bad for him, but I get where Paige is coming from. So it's like a two things can be true at once.
So Jeannie and I think when I had Jeannie on the pod when she was here,
Yeah.
we think that she really got the feeling the engagement was coming close and that she had to break up with him. And he also said when he was on Watch What Happens Live like a couple weeks ago that he was in the process like going to move to New York.
Oh my gosh, that was such a like
So if you
mic
think
drop.
about it, like if she really
I
wanted to make it
forgot.
work, he was going to move. That would take all the stress off her plate with the Charleston stuff.
Mhm.
And I think she was like, oh shit, I got to break up with him now because I don't want that.
Yeah. Well, I think it probably just shed light. Like it really
Hmm.
helped her come to her decision. Like, wait a second. Like, this isn't what I want. This isn't the guy.
Yeah, which
Like
is
it might
sad
have been like
because,
a thought in the back of her mind, but the fact that she could make up excuses for, and this is all probably subconscious, and again,
mhm,
just me assuming, but like if she knew, like, okay, well, we're still living apart and we still got time and like it doesn't force her to actually make the choice.
yeah,
So yeah, I agree with that.
I just think that, I don't know, that she was already like emotionally over it for a while. So that's why she's like out and about.
Oh yeah, like she's definitely dating, obviously. Like
Yeah.
she's more
Even though
over
she
it.
like won't tell us that she's dating that guy. Like she's on her podcast and she's like, I'm single. And I'm like, no, you're like with that guy like a lot. You're dating that guy that has a fanny pack that we all need to be alarmed about. We all need to be alarmed that you have a Louis Vuitton fanny pack.
I don't know. I feel like she might be having fun with him, like a little fuck buddy, but they might not be like serious. So therefore she's not gonna say like, yeah, he's my boyfriend because maybe like she doesn't see him that way. She
That's
sees him
true.
as
I
like
think it's just
somebody fun.
weird she won't say though, like, oh yeah, we're like hanging out. She like doesn't
Yeah.
even like speak of his name.
Yeah, like at least say like, yeah, I'm hanging with this boy and it's fun or whatever. Like you don't have to define the relationship, but at least admit that like there's something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that is
speaking of
a lot.
relationship, so that's when we have Jesse tell everyone in the house that he met Lexi's parents. And he's like, yeah, yesterday I was like single with all these girls. And then all of a sudden I'm meeting this girl's parents. How did I get here? And it's like, I need to know. Because he said last season, like, oh, yeah, I go on like 3 or 4 dates a week and blah, blah, blah. First of all, were you paying for all those dates? Because it's a lot. And second of all, where are all these girls coming from?
Where are all these balloons coming from?
Where are all the holiday balloons coming from again? But it's like, Mike is like, that guy's like ugly. Like, I love when he just like speaks up and like says random shit, because he's like, has an opinion at this point since I suck him down the road of watching all these shows. And it's so funny. Like, they like to pretend like they're not paying attention, but he knows. Or like sometimes they'll be like, wait, what was that person's name again? I'm like, yeah, it's because you're paying attention.
Oh, Pat was like that last night. I turned on Southern Charm and he was laying in bed and he was like, all right, I'm going to sleep. And he like turned around and like went to sleep or whatever, but he's still watching. He's like this. He's like literally watching the screen, like, but turned so that I don't see him watching it. I'm like, you're watching it.
We know you like it, Pat. Oh my God. We should get Pat and Mike on an episode next time. It could be like the four of us talk about
Oh God. They're going to be like, he sucks and she's this and he's that. And
oh my God. We'll have to do that one in person.
Oh, for sure. That would be fun. That would be fun. Like,
but then we
check in.
But then we got that new guy, Emerald, and he says that he could not attend last week because he was too busy being at a sex party.
A sex party? I didn't hear that.
Party. Wait, Sierra was like, what? And then they were like, so they did like a group happy hour. So they flash back to him describing the sex party. He's like, yeah, you like walk in and it's like 18 levels. And then it's like, there's a sex swing right there. And then someone was like, how many partners did you have? And he was like 2.5. And Sierra's face was like, two. Like, what's the half? Did you like just make out with her? Like touch her boob?
Like, touch her boob? Touch something else? Did she touch you somewhere? Oh my God, that's insane. I must have missed that. That's hilarious. Who is this man and where did he come from?
It's like, is he trying to be 50 Shades of Grey up in here in the Summerhouse, corrupting everyone? And then apparently later in the season, he has a threesome.
At the house.
At the house. I think someone is involved. I could see like Danielle being like, because so Sierra walks in and tells Danielle and Lindsay, oh my God, this guy that's like about to pull up. And by the way, pulled up on his motorcycle. You are not riding your motorcycle from New York City to the Hamptons.
How far is it?
Far. And where the frick was your suitcase? Did you tell like
gave it to somebody, like maybe gave it to Kyle like earlier in the week or something?
Kyle, please take my suitcase so I can like ride in the wind and show up and like swoon these ladies in their sex swing. Like Danielle, I don't know if she's single, and I feel like she is, which is weird that we have her back as like a visiting guest when she literally used to be on the show.
Right.
But if she's single, I could see her participating in the threesome.
Oh, I for sure. Like if anybody in the house, like I know she's not like a full-time cast member, but I consider her still. It would be her for sure.
Yeah,
like no way Paige, no way Sierra, no way Lexi. Obviously she's tied up with Jesse. No way
Lindsay's
Amanda.
pregnant. She's out.
Pregnant.
She's not invited.
She's going to bed. Yeah, there's no way it would have to be Danielle.
And I don't think it would be with like another guy because that's like weird.
I don't think Wes, no. Jesse, obviously he's busy.
Carl, like, ew, Carl.
If it was Carl, I would die.
I'm gonna die of embarrassment for him all season, like him trying to flirt. He's just like a dad. I don't know.
It's a sin. I feel for the guy though. I really do.
On Watch What Happens Live, it was so awkward. So I was like, I watched half of it like during the week, but then I watched the other half this morning. I was like folding the laundry, and it was like the ending part, and they were like, one of the questions, I don't remember if Andy asked it or someone wrote it in. It was like, oh, if like Jesse didn't like kind of like territory mark Lexi, would you have like tried to hook up with Lexi? And he's like, yeah, for sure. I mean, she's such a beautiful girl. And then I'm like, she's like 26. What?
Yeah, I
like no. She no.
A little bit there. I was like, what?
I can't believe he said that because I don't remember how old Carl is, but
not
40.
26.
Yeah. Jesse's 31, so that's totally normal.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, and I'm not like shading the like older versus younger, because I mean, you know, Mike's 15 years older than me, but it's like Carl's a nerd.
Yeah, and I feel like just the history of it all, and like he's seen some things in his time, and like
He would
he's
not
just
have
so
bagged
seasoned.
Lexi. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and it just like I don't know that would be like great
She's over there
TV.
taking shots all the time.
Yeah, no, it would not have. It would just be a non thing. Like, there's no way she wouldn't be into him.
No, definitely not. Because I noticed like her and Bailey snuck away. So at the end, when they go to like the DJing thing for Kyle, first of all, we need to go to that place in New York. We need to have like a fun girls trip. It's called Magic Hour, and the inside is like really cool, and the outside is like this insane rooftop, and it's like so high in New York,
Oh
which is
my
like kind of
God.
scary, but
That is
the whole
really
inside
scary.
is like really cool too. But they do like really crazy happy hours and brunches, and we have to
Oh,
go.
that's so cool.
Because I saw on the napkin it said Magic Hour, and I was like, wait, I want to go there.
Yeah, that would be a fun like weekend trip because we're in Philly, so we're not far. Well, Delaware, Philly, same thing, but it's
Yeah,
just
we
a
can go
train
on the
ride
train.
away. Yeah, like
Yeah.
one night, spend one night in New York. Like
We need
go
to
up
go to like a
Saturday.
Bravo event in New York.
Seriously, go up
They always have
Saturday
them
morning.
during the week, which is like the annoying part. Mom life.
I know these damn kids holding
I
us
know.
back.
We need to bring them with.
Could you imagine? They'd be like screaming their head off, running everywhere.
They
Like,
could be
oh,
friends with Lindsay's baby.
yeah, yeah.
Lindsay, bring your baby over here. We all have kids. Let's
I
hang
was gonna say
out.
we knock up at Lindsay's apartment and be like, "Can you watch our kids?" Like,
Yeah.
since you're already here with yours.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I did look up Hamptons from Manhattan to the Hamptons, and it's like 2.5 hours. So
Yeah,
it's a
but
hike. That's a
you're not
long
riding
roller
that freaking
coaster.
motorcycle.
Yeah. I don't know. People are crazy.
I know. And he's having sex parties, so he is crazy.
Yes, for sure.
But so they're all on the roof watching DJ, or I almost said DJ Kyle, like DJ Pauly D. They're watching Kyle DJ, and Paige scoots Sierra away, and she's like, "Let's go to the bar." And I knew it wasn't to get a drinky drink because Paige is like, I feel like she doesn't really drink that much. Like I could see Carl dating someone like a Paige, like she does drink, but
Oh yeah.
not too much. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I don't think Carl needs to be with someone sober, which sometimes people do.
Yeah.
But
I
I
don't
think he
think so
needs to be
either.
with a casual drinker.
Yeah. I could definitely see like a Paige-ish
Yeah.
type.
Or like Sierra. She never really gets that drunk either.
Yeah. Unless it's a party at their house. I feel like she gets a little wild.
That is true. That is true. But so she pulls her over to reveal all the text messages that Kyle, he pulled a Tequila
Yeah.
Katie for all the Vanderpump Rules fans, knowing what
Mhm.
I mean, throwing it back to when she would like rage text people. So I have the text, so I'm just going to read it.
Yeah.
So it says, honestly, beyond discouraged with Craig too. So he sent like an article that Hannah did above that. So he's like saying he's discouraged by Hannah's article. This wouldn't be a topic today if it wasn't for him and about a dozen lies. I can't believe this is where Hannah is at 3 years later. I'm effing ape shit. First, her telling Alex Cooper I cheated on Amanda right up until our wedding and all the pain we effing suffered because of that podcast when it was at its peak, which I never effing confronted you or her about. Now this question mark. You've been with her this entire time and are now out there saying you wish you stood up for her season 5. Now this, is this what you think as well? Hannah had the lowest Q rating, can't
Q
see,
rating, that was it.
entire AK likability, just can't see. Dave Kaplan drunk, and he'll tell you. So that must be like their producer for Summerhouse. Sorry to berate you. I was just heated in the moment. Can't vent to Amanda because she basically divorced, not would divorced me for potentially hurting your guys' friendship with the spritz stuff. So that's the thing Craig did. And I don't understand how lies keep getting. And then it's kind of cut off.
Yeah.
But I mean, what? First of all, why are you talking about Hannah? I know her and Paige are best friends and they do Giggly Squad together, but that's not her child nor like significant other. Like him texting her about Craig, I kind of understand, but also it's like just text Craig. why are you talking about Hannah to Paige?
Not only is she her best friend, but also like her business partner. So like Kyle, would you go against your business partner? Like even if
Yeah.
she did agree with you, even if Paige was like, you know what? Hannah is wrong and you're right, Kyle. Let me stick up for you or let me go to bat for you. You're not going to do that to your best friend usually, but even so, definitely not your business partner. You're in business with them. Like, why
Yeah.
would you put a riff in your relationship with your business partner for some guy, Kyle, who you've supported all this time, who's never ever had her back or any involvement in her endeavors and supported her at all? Did he go to any Giggly Squad stuff? Has he ever bought
Nope.
merch for her business? Has he ever supported anything she did? But yet she's pouring down Loverboy free
I love
market.
that she said that.
She doesn't
She was
get a
like,
cut
I
of that.
drank your drink for 7 years, which is
Right.
true.
I have
God
supported
forbid
you.
anyone drinks anything besides Loverboy in that house. It's
Right.
like rose and Loverboy.
Literally. Like, and that's free marketing. She never got a cut. She
Mhm.
never got commission for promoting it.
Yeah, like wear a Giggly
Like,
Squad thing. Like did you see like her sweatshirt? I think it was last week's, and it said Giggly, and I'm like, wait, I want that. It's cute.
yeah, that has to be our merch, but I haven't seen it anywhere. I'm like, I want that sweatshirt.
Like Kyle, wear that.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
was like,
sweatshirt that could be
he's not gonna
co-gender.
he's not going to support Hannah, probably. That's probably his reasoning. But like to Paige's point, it's like all these years, like she's heard Kyle's arguments with his wife Amanda and has gone to Amanda and has had Kyle's back in their relationship and has heard Amanda out and has helped Kyle understand where his wife's coming from. Basically free couples therapy for how many years now?
Like a mediator.
Yeah, like the fact that he is coming at her and berating her. He even said berating. Like, get out of here. Get out of here.
I
Do
know. So
not
then
come.
I loved at the end of the episode when Sierra and Paige are in the room together upstairs, and she's like, all last year, you're texting me about your wife. I'm giving you advice, and
Yep.
then you're going to do this.
Yep.
And I don't tell your wife. Could you also imagine, like, Pat, like, texting me shit about you, like, shitting on you, but then he's going to, like, send me, like, nasty messages, and it's like, I also don't
Guys
understand
on
why
one
Kyle
hand.
is, like, being nasty, like, when who knows what he's told Paige about Amanda. And it's also like, what are you complaining about to her friend?
Yeah.
To her friend. Like,
Yeah.
he is going to isolate Amanda away from all her friends because they won't put up with this, and guarantee, mark my words, like, let's say they all aren't on the show like 2 years from now. I don't know if Paige and Sierra would like hang out with Amanda just because of Kyle.
I know, and that's a sin. It's sad. Like, I feel like also though, once the show's over, it's like, would Amanda stay with him? Probably not.
She better get to going because the time is ticking.
Yeah. It's ugly. He should have never came at Paige with that shit. Like, it is not her problem. You have Hannah's number, you have Craig's number. Take it up with them.
Yeah.
Take it up with
And
them.
that's like a little bitch move. Like, especially when it's like, man, like, maybe like I don't want you to call Hannah and scream at her because she's a woman, but like call Craig and scream at him. He's a man.
And also though, like, not for anything, like Craig going in on the Spritz Society drink, like, he's not on Summerhouse. He doesn't have like he has no obligation to Kyle as far as like, like coworkers. Like, he doesn't work along Kyle. They're not like best friends. They don't even live in the same city. Like, why does Kyle think Craig should have this allegiance to him? They're not that close. Like, maybe if they were best friends, right? Like, if this was like Jesse
Austin and
Nolan,
Craig, yeah,
right? If this was Jesse doing it, going in on this partnership, or if it was Wes, like, okay, like I could see Kyle being a little hurt,
or like Carl,
right?
Yeah.
Like, but Craig, that's a reach. Like, why do you think he needs to bow down to Loverboy and not have his own business and his own earnings?
Well, and I feel like Craig is just literally doing promo for them. It's not like he co-founded and made the drink. Do you know what I
No,
mean?
exactly.
I think they came to Craig, which is smart. And I think Kyle I think he gets jealous and projects that. Like,
Yeah.
Craig, like he's always like, oh, Craig doesn't own Sewing Down South. He has partners. I wish I had partners. It's like, yeah, we know that you wish because instead you hoard all the responsibility and all the duties of Loverboy. And that's why
Right.
it's probably not as big as it could be. I can't even go to our liquor store here and buy Loverboy. And
Right.
then the places it does supply, like when we go to Wildwood, they have 2 flavors and they're nasty. So it's
Right.
like, you're not
He's hindering
like
himself.
big. Yeah.
Right. Like he
He's
could have all
jealous.
these ambassadors and he could get it out there. He's just
Mhm.
not willing to let it go.
He
But
should
then
have had
doesn't let
partners.
everybody else.
He just like Craig. Like, so I think Spritz came to Craig and they're probably like, oh, do you want to be like involved in this? And you do the promo because you're on TV. No one knows who we are. We'll use you.
Yep.
And he looks great in the ads. And it's like,
Right.
we recognize him from TV. So I'm going to go buy Spritz because I see Craig, not because I see some stranger.
Right.
Like, or like the Sewing Down South. Yes, he has partners, but Craig is the face of the business because he's on TV.
Right.
I would buy a pillow because of Craig. Like,
Right.
if Kyle got the opportunity to lay on a couch with pillows right now for a bunch of money, I bet he'd do it. And he'd be like, Craig, you can't get mad at me. Why?
Right. And that is the thing. It's like no one would care. It's Kyle that cares about this shit that makes no sense.
I mean, like you said, like all summer they're drinking Loverboy. I mean, Mike said he's like, when they have their parties, they have like 50 cans on a table. He's like, that's not because everyone's a slob. They're leaving it there for advertisement.
Oh, absolutely. That's
Because there's a trash can over there.
It's
I
free
know people are messy. We all went to college,
Mhm.
but this is strategic.
It's free advertisement. I kind of think
Mhm.
Kyle's cheap as hell. He doesn't want to bring in brand ambassadors like we were saying with Craig and
Yeah.
these
Shit,
famous
send
people.
a case to Khloe Kardashian. Like, shit like that. Like, I never see him having celebrities do it.
No,
Send
no.
me a case, Kyle. I'm shit talking on you right now, but send me a case of the limoncello because that's the only one everyone drinks. And that's the one I want to try because I feel like that's the best spritz one.
I like the iced tea one.
Yeah, actually, when Carl ordered the non-alcoholic, he said the lemonade iced tea. So it's like an Arnold Palmer. I'm like, that
Yeah.
would be good. I would taste it. But see, that's what I mean. It's not in Delaware at all. And then when we go to Wildwood, all they had was like hibiscus iced tea, which was weird. And then they had the lavender blueberry spritz.
Oh,
But that's the purple can. So sometimes they drink that one too. The
did
cute
you like?
purple
You didn't
can.
like that one?
No, because I'm like, that is too much. So it's technically wine, the spritz. It's like
Oh.
sparkling wine, but it's blueberry and lavender. Like, no, they do too many weird flavors.
Yeah, that does not sound good to me. Blueberry.
That's why, yeah, I was like, oh, I would try the limoncello because that sounds good.
Yeah.
Just like a lemony, refreshing one. But yeah, I love the cans. They're a work of art, and that's all because of Amanda. But it's like the flavors sometimes are a little yucky.
Isn't that the funniest thing? It's like the best thing about this damn brand is like his wife, who he treats like shit.
Yeah, who was like, oh, she's so lazy and she does nothing. It's like,
Yeah.
sir,
Sir.
sit down.
Yeah.
Like,
Shut your
I just
mouth.
love at the end though that Paige was like, he should be lucky that he is married to his wife because if not, I would go up him sideways and come down the other side. And I'm like, get it.
You tell him, Paige.
Beat
Get
him up.
Get him.
Well, then the preview for the next week, it looks like she's going to come out. She's like, I'm Two-Face. And he's like, go on and have your moment. And I'm like, don't talk to our queen that way.
See, this is where I feel so bad for Amanda because I'm like,
yeah. She's like going like this. She's
like she's probably so sad because like she probably is on Paige's side and like sees her point and wants to say, Kyle, shut the fuck up.
He's being annoying.
Yeah.
He's starting drama with everyone. And it's like.
And making her life miserable.
Yeah. And it's like, we honestly we do like the drama on these shows, but it's like, We don't need you to create drama. Drama will just happen.
Yeah.
Especially with like the love, like interest in the house. I don't know if Kyle gets like nervous that he's gonna be like axed because he's old. So he's like, oh, let me start shit with Paige.
Maybe. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I don't really think they'd ever axe him though, because he's a good time. He keeps like the party going.
Well, and he's OG. Like, even if he's not causing drama, it's like people, it's consistency. People have been seeing him on their screen and they want to keep seeing familiar faces.
Yeah.
So all this drama he's creating is kind of for nothing because like he's going to get re-signed for the show anyway.
I know.
So crazy.
Well, we'll move on to Southern Charm, because one person that we know that is not re-signed because he quits is JT. And JT finally arrives to the Bahamas because he's so goofy that he's like lost his passport, or I don't know what the heck he's doing. Vanita's the only one that's excited. And it's like, I don't even care that you're leaving the show because no one is even friends with you. Like, I wouldn't even want to be on the show. Like, no one likes you.
So when I was telling you how Pat like pretended, like my husband, for all the listeners, Pat is my husband. When he turned around and pretended like he was sleeping, all I hear last night was, that guy's goofy. And it was JT.
Pat speaking for the people.
Or he was like, no wonder nobody likes him. He's goofy or something.
He is.
No, here's the thing. It's like he dug himself a hole, and Vanita was right. Like, she was like, all you have to do is like confront these people and have the conversation and get your word out there and like apologize for what you need to apologize for. Like, she is like laying it out for him. Like, this is what you need to do, because she's seeing both sides. And he's just like, I don't know. He's an interesting character. He's very goofy.
I love though how when they get in the van, like the Sprinter vans, Madison's like, everyone that's friends with JT get in that van.
And it was like no people.
It was like nobody.
Chef
Ooh, and Whitney had no tooth. Did you see that in the side shot?
Ew,
back here, like back in the back. He is so ugly that every time we see him on the camera, I get so irate that he was like telling Molly to not eat that cupcake.
Oh my God. I was like, who are you to talk? Molly is gorgeous and so cute. And you are like an old fart.
Lady. Like he looks like an old lady.
Gosh, with all this like plastic surgery that like looks horrible.
What do you think he got done to his face? I'm like, oh, what's wrong with your face? I
don't know, but it's not giving. It's not giving.
It's giving ugly. It's giving ugly. The only thing that's giving is your wallet, and that's the only reason anyone would speak to you. Sorry.
I think that's true. Like, he's not even entertaining. Like,
yeah, he's like,
he's just
so
rude. When
quiet.
he's entertaining, he's just rude. Like when he was like being really mean to, who was it, Shep or whatever, like a couple episodes ago.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's the only thing he brings to the show is like him being an asshole. And I'm like, but that's not even like drama. I don't even want to see that. I just hate you.
Yeah. How do you like Siena? Did you see that on TikTok?
Her little
called Whitney out. Yeah, she's like, none of that is true. I did not request Whitney. He direct requested me on Raya, which she said is like weird to do. And then he sent her a message and it was like, hey, how's it going? And she's like, good. What about you? And that was it. So it's like, he totally lied through his teeth.
Yeah. And I totally believe Siena, who like, I don't even know the girl over this. She
showed the screenshot and everything. I'm like, oh, I love it.
Yeah. What is your opinion on her, like Siena and Shep?
That text message was the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life.
No.
Like, and then Austin's like, I love the sound effects when it was like, boom. And he's like, boom. And he's like, I really wish you read that to me before you sent it. I mean, she doesn't like him, but this is my 2 cents. It doesn't really seem like she cares about being on the show. So why are you like mustering up any type of effort to like see and speak to him when the whole time on this trip she's like dying of a stomach virus? And it's like, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
You're not.
she's like avoiding him like the plague. But yeah, I didn't understand that when people say like, oh, she just wants to be on the show, or she's just like, with him for the fame. But like if she were, she would be showing up.
Right.
She would be
She would
on
want to
film.
be on the camera.
Yeah.
Instead, she's like, I want to be anywhere but. And I don't think Shep is like totally making it up in his brain that like they had a connection, they liked each other. So like, is she gaslighting him and like saying this stuff that was off camera, and now like he's there, brings all his friends, brings the cameras, and it's like, oh, I don't like you.
Ooh.
Or do you think he's totally dead delusional the whole time?
Like you're saying she like kind of like put this great like feeling into him to like build him up to then like let him loose just so that her name gets out there. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, that could be, and embarrass him on TV. Or like, is she just like, I'm wondering like how Shep ever thought she liked him, if this is how she acted the whole time.
So my take is that she probably got with him and was like, oh, he's fun, like he's cool, I like him a little bit, the more she was around him. Because like, again, there's distance, right? So like the more interaction she had with him, and she probably was like, oh, he's on TV, he's on a show, like I like him. Even that dog party at the very beginning of the season, she was much more like happy to be there, all about Shep, blah, blah, blah. But like as time had gone on, she's probably like getting the ick. And now she's like, bye. But by that point, Shep was in love.
I know, but it's like, it's so sad. You're going to let him come there?
I know. Like, why did she even allow that?
I know.
I wonder if producers kind of pushed it, though. Like, maybe she did say, well, no, because.
And probably, I mean, they needed a trip anyway. But it just seemed like it was like, oh, because as soon as they got there, he was like, Siena, like, planned this trip. And then Taylor was like, Santa? And he was like, no, Siena. And Madison's like, might as well be Santa. We never see her. I was like, yes.
I love Madison. I love her.
Anything she says. Because it's like the accent. I'm like, anything she says, she's like my Southern queen.
Southern queen. I love her. Yeah, anything she says, it just like gives it that extra like ding because she has the Southern accent with it.
She's like, Shep, she doesn't like you.
Yeah.
Like, but so Molly clearly likes Shep. When they're sitting, which by the way, they went back to the same restaurant. Did you notice that?
No. Oh, really?
Yeah. The one that Sierra got food poisoning from. Or I mean, like, Siena.
Right. I wonder if it was the only one that they could film at.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. But yes, Molly, like, what a doll. Like, Shep, here's a girl. What? Madison said it. Like, here's a girl who would, like, take
right in front of your face.
Right in front of your face. Yeah. Who likes you. And she's perfect and gorgeous and funny and all these great qualities, but you're hung up on freaking Siena, who doesn't want anything to do with you.
It's like you met her probably when you were like on vacation, and it's like when we go on vacation, we're like, oh my God, I love it here. I want to live here. I want to move here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like just because you're so caught up having fun.
There's a lure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's like we don't want to live in the Bahamas. That's not like, no.
Right.
I mean, some people do. I'm not saying that's bad to live in the Bahamas, but it's like he doesn't want to move to the Bahamas.
Right. I think he was caught up in a moment and like continued to like build onto that. And like she was probably like, all right, like the fun's over. Like I'm not into it anymore. And he's like, no, I like you still.
Yeah, like stage 5 clinger vibes.
Yeah. But oh my God, him walking to the boat last night, like in the episode,
I know
it was like a sad puppy dog. Like when she sent that text back to him, like when she wasn't coming, my heart sunk for the man.
She's I was like, no, I'm not coming. And then those speech bubbles. Do you love how the producers do it dirty? And it's like, were the speech bubbles there the whole time?
Oh my God, my heart was like, I know that feeling. Like you just feel sick for the guy.
I know, but Taylor's probably loving it, and a lot of viewers are loving it. Like, little tastier in medicine.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Maybe that's why I'm like, did Taylor and Siena, like, conjure this up?
I know, right? Like, she's, like, texting Siena on the side.
Yeah. Like, please publicly embarrass him.
Right. What was I gonna say about Austin and Craig takes on the whole thing? Like, we don't really get much of what Taylor's thinking other than her confessionals, just like her rolling her eyes the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, this guy, like whatever. But like Austin and Craig, we're getting like real time in the moment their reactions to all this, and Craig could not give a shit. Whereas like Austin's like, God damn, like, don't you feel for him a little bit? Like, give him some sympathy.
Do you love how they had to call in reinforcements from Paige, though? Leave it to Paige to tell Shep, she doesn't like you. I'm going to tell you what my mom told me when I was in my 20s. If he liked you, you would know.
Yeah, like she just gave it to him straight. But like that's
She's
kind of
like,
what
you need to let her go.
Craig's saying the same thing to this guy. Like Craig is like, forget her, or like, we don't need to like her. She doesn't like you and she's making you feel like crap. Like, I'm not going to pretend to like this girl. Whereas Austin's like, no, like trying to like still like kind of let Chef down easy. Like, it might not be that bad, but it's just funny.
He wants to be like nice, but it's also like, yeah, but you need to be honest. So I asked Mike, I was like, all right, let's say that you're Shep's friend. Are you going to be more Craig or be more Austin? And he's like, I'm going to be Craig. I'm going to be like, she doesn't like you.
Oh, well, I feel like most men would be that way. Like, Pat would be like, what are you doing? Like,
I think
not into you.
I think Austin like didn't want to do that though, just because they were on TV. Do you think that? Like maybe behind closed doors he was saying that, like off camera, like, Shep, man, you got to let it go. Like, she's not coming on this boat. We got to leave and we're going to have fun today. Whereas Craig is like on camera, like, let me FaceTime my girlfriend who now dumped me and like embarrass you. Not embarrass, but
yeah.
Craig's always adding the drama. He could be a housewife, I'm telling you.
Yes, I felt like that was a little, the whole like Paige weighing in, it was like a little interesting because of what's playing out in today's current world. Like, he got dumped by Paige and like he probably would like some sympathy, like Craig or like Shep did in the moment.
Yeah.
So it's just like tables are kind of turned and like in real time, and it's just interesting to like watch that scene. I was like it didn't sit well with me.
Well, and we could say to Craig, like Shep, it's like 100% Siena doesn't like you. It's so obvious. But we could say to Craig, well, there were some like flags that Paige isn't that into it either.
Yeah. And they never like when Craig was sitting there telling Austin and Shep at lunch, like when they were back in Charleston, like, yeah, I froze my sperm. And they asked, like, well, was that Paige's idea or was that your idea? And like, you know, them having kids in 2 to 3 years, they asked, like, is that what you want or is that what Paige wants? Like, I think they were nicely saying, like, dude, she doesn't want the same thing as you. And it was like a nice way of saying it. They didn't just come out and say, like, she doesn't want to have kids with you.
Yeah.
So now that Shep's in that position and Craig's giving advice, it's kind of like really harsh.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like, they were just like, oh, is that what she wants you to do with the sperm? Or like, yeah. Because he's like, always like, we. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How about JT's whole conversation with Madison, though? Because when they were at dinner, they were trying to pick apart the story of if he said to Craig and Shep back when they did that simulator golf thing, that we're trying to find the facts out if he actually called Miss Pat a bitch and if he actually said the word affair with like him, Madison, and Brett. Like, he's alluding to like Brett is threatened that JT and Madison were having some affair and he needed to like check who was in her room in Jamaica. I think Craig, I mean, Kyle said it. He's a known liar. He lies. I think he like spins a story for like drama because I really don't think, I don't like JT really. He's like annoying, but I don't think he called Miss Pat a bitch. I think he told Shep and Craig the story. And Craig is like, oh, he's insinuating she's a bitch. So I'm just going to add that word bitch onto it and make it drama. And then he's telling us this story about Brett calling Madison saying, oh, like, who's in your room? Insinuating she's having an affair with someone. So I'm just going to say that.
Right. And Pat's, my husband, said it perfectly. He's like, well, obviously, when they rolled back the tapes, never once did you hear bitch or affair. And it's like, well, there's case closed. Like they would have had it, like Pat said, they would have had it on tape.
Oh,
and
they
I
would have
agree.
rolled that footage.
Exactly. And it's a shame because, like, obviously it's in the moment. Like Madison will never know, and you know, Miss Patricia will never know because, like, until the season airs, obviously, whether or not it was true or not. But I think Madison knows knows Craig and knows his behaviors. And after talking with JT at their penthouse suite,
Oh my God.
she knew. She's like, all right, like, you know what? I'll give the guy a bone because I do know that Craig kind of like adds on to stories and like quote unquote.
He
like,
ad libs.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Exactly. But I don't think Craig's necessarily a liar. I just think, again, he adds a little bit more color and his own spin on it.
But it's like dramatic color that like he has now put JT in the place where like no one likes him.
Right. And that's why I feel for JT, as goofy as he is. I do feel for JT at that moment. I do love Craig, but yeah, he needs to be on Housewives. He's a little dramatic.
Mike was like, maybe that's why Paige broke up with him because he's being a little bitch. And I'm like, all right, shots fired, Mike. Let's see how you feel. Let's hear how you feel.
Oh God.
I know. I'm excited for them Craig and Austin to have their dramatic, tear-felt, heartfelt talk next week. I thought we were going to get that this week, but next week he's going to break down to Austin and basically be like, I had to stop drinking because I was like becoming like a full-blown alcoholic. And I'm like, oh shit, Craigie.
Yeah. I mean, and I think it's sad. I think the producers did a really good job at like leading up to this point. So for us to see it next week, like we have gotten this trip where like Austin is visibly like annoyed with Craig and Craig knows it. And Craig's saying to Madison, like he's twitching when he's talking or when I'm talking. Like he knows like Austin has like had it. And especially like the whole podcast thing where, you know, Craig was like, well, we don't align anymore. And this isn't a friendship. Like it has built and built and built to now get to the point where they're now breaking down to one another because they are like brothers. And it is sad that they're like, you see them deteriorating.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, like, I think everything's fine. Fast forward. I mean, obviously it's fine.
Yeah,
they have a restaurant. They said they have a restaurant.
What? Oh, yeah. I did know that. What am I talking about? I knew
By the way or whatever. And I'm like, by the ways. And I'm like, oh my God, we totally need to make a trip to Charleston.
We need to make trips so many places.
So many places. There's just so little time. Whenever BravoCon gets announced, I know it's going to be in November, but tickets haven't gone on sale. We're going.
Oh, 1,000%. We have to go.
We're there because I need to see in person Shep being a hot mess. Because how did you like that? He said he fell asleep on a lawn beach chair, like blacked out. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I thought after blacking out at BravoCon, everyone's saying they need to like get space from you from drinking, that you were reeling it in, which I really feel like he has. I do think it's all the Siena stuff, but still I'm like, oh my God, you were asleep on the beach?
Did you watch Andy or did you watch What Happens Live after, I think it was Southern Charm, Southern Hospitality, and then watch What Happens Live, right? I was wondering if Andy was going to ask I forget who was even on the panel.
It was Sally.
So maybe, if it was one of the guys that was on, I feel like Andy
that would have been better.
Would have had a question around Shep's drinking and probably flash back to like the reunion last year when he was like, I'm giving up drinking and I'm changing.
I bet they'll do that at the reunion this year, which they already filmed.
Yeah.
But I bet they'll say that.
He's going to ask. He's definitely going to ask at the reunion because that's how this season kind of kicked off, right? Like Austin and Craig being like, yeah, we haven't seen you all summer and blah, blah, blah. And Shep was kind of hurt by that because he's like, I've changed. And Austin and Craig are like, well, how many times have we heard that? And you're still the same guy.
Yeah.
Look, he's fallen asleep on the beach again. Like,
yeah. God, wait, I took a picture of him and Whitney. And it was like, wait, I'm going to pull it up and show it on the screen. It was so funny. I took when they were like, yeah, we were like gambling. And then, so Shep got thrown out. Wait, look at Whitney.
Wait, I can't see. Oh, his eyes are closed.
They're closed. He's dead.
Oh,
And that timestamp was 11 p.m. Ew, and then look, I took a picture of Dirty Foot.
Ew.
It's either Shep's or Craig's. Do you love when they wake up and it's like a crime scene of like leftover food? I was like, Mike, there's a whole pizza over there no one touched. Like a cart of food, all these like half empty bottles of beer. The sink was on full stream running. And I'm like, what's going on?
That's insane. Like, what do you think the camera guy would at least shut it off? Oh, well, they're home. They're not even filming them.
I feel like that's like adds to the fun. And then they all wake up and they like, you can tell they're so hungover because they like sound terrible. Yeah. Their feet are dirty like that. And I'm like, why are your feet that dirty? Did you take your shoes off?
Well, I guess if you're going on the beach and passing out in the lawn chair, yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know if those were Craig's feet or Shep's. I feel like they were Craig's. And I'm like, ew.
Ew. I hope not. I hope they were Shep's. Because then it would
yeah, we hope Shep has the dirty feet, not Craigie.
Yeah. No wonder Paige broke up with Craig if that's the case.
Dirty feet.
No,
causing drama.
I feel like Craig is so like pretty boy and like very well maintained. Like I feel like he would never ever have dirty feet.
Oh, he didn't even want to share this suite, this presidential suite.
He's a pampered man. Like no
He's
way.
Like, I'm 36 and we all have money. I'm not sharing a bedroom. How dare you think that?
Hilarious. I mean,
I wouldn't care.
At this point, I understand like you have enough money to have your own rooms and like blah 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 or be annoyed about it, but like don't say it out loud.
Well, and also it's like, Craig, the show is paying for this presidential suite. And it's like you're sharing a room, you're not sharing a bed. And you're in a giant suite that has a staircase in it.
Right.
Get over it.
Again, it goes back to like him fabricating the situation.
Yeah, like just being dramatic, throwing a toddler tantrum. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. And I see that when he did that, I was like, that's why Paige broke up with you, because of that.
Yeah, because of this. Whatever this is, this is why.
Whatever this is, it's not working.
Oh, God.
Oh my gosh, well, this was so fun. I feel like we covered so much. I feel like Southern Charm and Summerhouse are just syncing up so well because of like Paige and Craig.
Oh yeah. And I just, not that I want it to be at the end of things, but like the seasons kind of wrap up together because they started at the same time. So like it'll then go to real time where they have their breakup conversation and we get more juice on that.
I love the cameras picking back up. The camera's picking back up for all of this stuff.
Oh, I'm coming back after we see that footage. I'm coming back and spilling my
You are, because we're going to have to talk about it because Paige alludes to him texting two bitches. Yeah. And then he tells the guys he already bought a ring.
It's wild.
Can he get a refund? Like, did he return it?
No, I feel like when you buy a ring, like, I think you just have to sell it or pawn it. Like, you can't give it back to the store.
Oh my God, do you think he'll save it? I wouldn't want it if I was like the next girl.
I know.
She'll never know what it looks like though, because we'll never see it unless they do him dirty and show like a whole screen of it. Because he probably had it custom made too, so you definitely can't return that.
I don't think Craig would give a ring to somebody else that was supposed to be for Paige.
Oh my God, that means he's gonna like lose so much money. I feel so bad for him.
I feel like if anything, he would sell it.
What do you think Carl did with Lindsay's ring? Did she give it back?
Probably not.
Wait, I think she had to.
Why?
I remember when he was on Watch What Happens Live. Legally, she had to.
Why?
I don't know. It's like a state of New York thing.
Oh.
So I wonder what he ended up doing. Obviously, I'm sure he sold it, but yeah, it's like I wonder how much you get for it.
Yeah. Well, if Craig posted somewhere like the engagement ring I was going to give to Paige, like putting it up for face value or like whatever he paid for it, I'm sure it would go for much higher. Like some big Bravo fan would be like, I need the ring that Paige.
We're going to be like, get that.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Sell my ring and get me that one now.
Yeah, get me Paige's ring.
Yeah. Oh my God, that would be wild.
Yeah, it'll happen. So I don't feel that bad. Craig will be just fine.
Yeah, he'll make out with that one.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for coming on the pod.
Of course, anytime. I'm happy to chat with you.
I know. And
Now we
yeah,
have
we'll
all these
definitely.
trips that we have to go on. We have to go to New York. We have to go to Charleston.
I love it.
BravoCon.
People, come watch our children. Get ready. We have
Yes.
work to do.
Babysitter. Sound off in the comments if you want to babysit our kids.
Yeah, stay with them. Bye. Love you.
I love you.
As always, this was so fun, and you could find me on Instagram at Bravo T with the Stay at Home Mom, Spotify, and Apple. Till next time, see ya.